Great. I'll now begin writing the full-length script based on the title, Bullies Dragged the Weak Girl into Storage Room. Her lethal skills made them cry, with each of the 5 paragraphs being approximately 10,000 characters, around 2,000 words. This will result in a dramatic, cinematic-style story structured like an intense short film or web fiction episode. I'll start with paragraph 1 and deliver them one at a time so you can review and request edits or direction changes if needed. Paragraph 1. The setup, 10,000 characters approx. Mira's reputation, the bullies, and the trap. The first day of senior year should have meant a clean slate for most students at Redwood High. New classes, new teachers, the lingering buzz of college applications and senior privileges. But for Mira Tanaka, it was just another day trying to survive the cruel ritual that had become her high school life. She walked with her head down, her dark hair forming a curtain between her and the world, her sketchbook clutched tightly to her chest. No one said hello. No one offered a smile. In fact, most seemed to move away from her like she carried something contagious. She had become a myth at the school, not for anything she did, but for the silence she carried, the silence that invited torment. Redwood High had a hierarchy, and at the top stood Alyssa Monroe, the daughter of a local politician, with a talent for cruelty disguised as confidence. Wherever she went, 2 shadows followed: Jenna, a softball star with a mean streak a mile wide, and Leah, quiet but observant, the one who took videos but never stopped the chaos. They were untouchable, and they knew it. Students feared them, teachers avoided conflict, and the administration turned a blind eye. So, when Alyssa made Mira her target last semester, no one questioned it. Mira never fought back, never raised. Her voice never told a soul. She simply endured. It started small. Books knocked from her desk, water poured in her bag, rumors whispered behind cupped hands. Then came the physical games, tripping her in the hallway, locking her out during fire drills, stealing her drawings. Alyssa especially liked to humiliate, Mirabai turning her art into a spectacle. She once held up a beautifully shaded drawing of a phoenix and ripped it in half during lunch. "You'll never be anything," she had spat, loud enough for everyone to hear. Mira didn't respond, not even a flinch. That only fueled their aggression. What no one noticed, or cared to notice, was the way Mira's eyes changed when she was alone. The pain dissolved. In its place was clarity, focus. Beneath the meek shell they tormented, Mira harbored something ancient, something dangerous, because Mira wasn't just a quiet girl with a sketchbook. She was the granddaughter of Katsuro Tanaka, a decorated martial artist and former operative for Japan's Special Defense Forces. Raised under his roof from the age of 6, Mira had spent her childhood mastering disciplines others took decades to learn: Jiu-jitsu, Aikido, Silat, Taekwondo. Her grandfather called it ghost training, a style built not just for combat, but for invisibility, for surviving while being underestimated. It wasn't meant for sport. It was meant for war, and she had never used it, until today. The morning felt different. She woke earlier than usual. The air was sharp, heavy with tension. She dressed slowly, selecting a simple black hoodie and loose jeans, clothes that gave her range. Her sketchbook was tucked in her bag, but today it wasn't the drawings that mattered. It was what she had taped beneath the back cover, a letter her grandfather had written before he died. Never show your strength until the silence has turned into a storm. Then move like shadow, strike like thunder. Mira arrived at school and moved through the halls like smoke, silent, watching. She knew what was coming. The previous day, Alyssa had slipped a fake apology note in her locker. "Meet me behind the gym, I want to start over. I was wrong." Anyone else would have believed it. Mira didn't. She knew Alyssa, knew the lie behind the words. It was bait, a trap, and she had every intention of walking into it, because this time the trap wouldn't catch her. It would catch them. By lunch, the plan was already in motion. Alyssa and her crew were waiting outside the old gym doors, smirking, eyes gleaming with anticipation. Mira walked toward them, her pace unhurried. Alyssa crossed her arms. "Glad you showed up, freak," she said with a grin that didn't touch. Her eyes. "Let's talk. In private." Mira tilted her head slightly. "Sure." Jenna stepped forward and grabbed her by the arm, not too hard, not bruising, just enough to show who was in control. They dragged her across the back corridor to a disused storage room, the kind no one visited anymore. It had been sealed off due to mold issues, but the door still opened if you knew how to push it just right. They shoved her inside. The room was musty, filled with broken gym mats, unused hurdles, rusted poles, and decades-old climbing ropes hanging, like limp nooses from the ceiling. Dust floated in shafts of light from a cracked window. The door slammed behind her. Alyssa grinned as she moved in closer. "Here's the deal," she whispered. "You're going to beg us to stop, and we're going to see how far we can push you before you scream." Jenna cracked her knuckles. Leah pulled out her phone. Mira looked around the room once, measuring distances, surfaces, shadows. She closed her eyes, and then she whispered, "Last chance. Walk away." A beat. Then Alyssa laughed. "Are you serious?" What happened next wasn't a scream. It wasn't a cry for help. It was movement, lightning fast, fluid, and silent. Mira's foot twisted, and she pivoted to the side just as Jenna lunged. She grabbed Jenna's wrist mid-swing and twisted, an impossible angle, sending the larger girl tumbling over her own momentum. The thud echoed off the walls. Leah gasped and dropped her phone. Alyssa backed up, suddenly unsure. Mira straightened, eyes dark, cold. "I warned you," she said. "Let me know when you're ready for paragraph 2, where the action truly begins. Do you want me to continue?"